everybody, and welcome to the third instalment of this year's Mystery Cushion Club. Now, I don't think I've seen you since the very first instalment, which was back in June. So I'm just checking in with you today to see how you're getting on, to check that everybody's okay, that you're still enjoying the experience of the Mystery Cushion. And I will talk to you as well about the blocks that you're going to be knitting this month. Now, I know that last month was that large intarsia block, which hopefully didn't frighten you off too much. I know there were lots and lots of bobbins in that square. I know, obviously, because I've knitted it, and I know because I've talked to members through email and at the mystery meetings that we have in Nottingham. I know that there were rather a lot of bobbins to cope with, but I think you've coped okay. From what I can hear, the feedback, I think it went okay. So we're going to be ready next for our August squares or August blocks, 2 blocks to knit this month, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. So have any more of you guessed what the title is? We've had very few guesses, actually. Only a few of you have got it correct. There's another letter. If you read the blog after watching this introduction, I'm giving you another letter in the letter puzzle that might just tip the balance. It might just be the one clue you need to guess what the title is. If you do have any ideas what it might be, please do get in touch. Email sue@debbieabrahams.com with your answer, and she will let you know if you are correct. So good luck, everybody. And maybe the squares this month, the names of the squares, what you're knitting, looking at the whole completed front panel, which will be completed after this third instalment. Maybe you might just be able to guess what it is. So do keep in touch. Let us know your thoughts. We love to hear from you. So there are 2 blocks to knit this month. There is block number 5, which is called Corrugated 2, and there is block number 6 called Imprint. And if we look at the piecing diagram, which is on page 4 of your August Mailout, Mailout 3, you will see in the piecing diagram there all 6 blocks, all how they're assembled to create that whole front panel. So after this instalment, the front panel will be completed. Now, I'm going to talk to you about the squares now, or the blocks, I should say. They're not all squares, so I've called them blocks in this project. So let's look first of all then at block 5, which is Corrugated 2. Now, this is quite similar to block 2, which you got in the very first mail out. It's the same stripe sort of pattern with hooked in beads, but it uses this time Euphoria and Autumn Gold. It's a small panel. It only measures 15 centimetres across by 7.5 centimetres down. So it just fits into that top section of the front panel block. Following on from that, you'll be knitting block 6, which is called Imprint. And this is a really lovely little, very easy to knit repeat pattern where 3 colours are constantly rotated round in the pattern. You've got alternate lime stripes, and then you've got pine and verdigris. Pine, this is the first time we've used the pine yarn. It's a lovely kind of rich sort of deep green, forest green. And together, those 3 colours together, I think, really work well together, especially with that lime in the background. The pattern repeat there is on page 7 of your August mail out, and basically you are purling stitches together. All the work, by the way, happens on the wrong side row. Right side rows are just knitted. So on the wrong side rows, you are purling 2 stitches together, and you leave those stitches on the left hand needle. Take the yarn back between the needles, and you knit into those stitches. Knit the same 2 stitches together again before releasing the stitch off the left hand needle. Then you bring the yarn forward between the needles to the front to purl. It's actually very straightforward to do. It gives you a really interesting structure. I really loved creating this pattern and seeing how it knitted up, and hopefully you will enjoy it too. Oh, just one last thing before I talk about some other things to you. On block 6 imprint, remember all the way through it, you're using a smaller size needle. It's a 3.25 millimetre. That will ensure that the pattern knits up really neatly and that the block knits up to the correct dimensions. So once you've completed your blocks for August, you have, as I said earlier, all the front panel blocks are then completed, which means that you could get ahead ready for the instalment number 4, where you're going to be working on the back panels. You will need your front panel sewn together. So there are 2 tech vids this month to help you. There's one that shows generic videos that show mattress stitch sewing 2 selvage side edges together. And then there's mattress stitch that shows how to sew together a selvage to a cast off, because you are going to have different edges. It's not going to be the same edges always being seamed together. You're going to have some cast off edges sewn to selvage side edges. So if you need some advice about mattress stitch and how to sew those blocks together, do check out the tech vids in this month's blog and they will help you through that process. So just before I sign off today, just 2 things I want to talk to you about. At the moment, we are running an end of summer sale. I know in some of the department stores here, in fact, I was in a garden centre yesterday and they were saying that they had their Christmas stock in. So summer hasn't really started here for us yet in the UK. I'm hoping we're going to get some sunshine through August and September, but the shops are saying Christmas is on its way. So we're holding an end of summer sale. It actually finishes on the 16th of August. So there's not much time. If you're watching this on the launch day of Mailout 3 on the 15th of August, then you need to, if you want to buy something and get a 10% discount, 10% off everything in the shop except for my 2 new kits, Tuscany and Amore, and our bespoke boxes, mystery boxes, but everything else, beads, books, kits, there's 10% off. So if you haven't taken advantage of our special offer at the moment, then do pop across to our online shop after you've watched this intro and grab yourself a bargain. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was the launch very, very soon of my 2025, I can hardly believe I'm saying that, 2025 Mystery Blanket Club. So many of you I know are Mystery Blanket Club members as well. It's time to make a decision whether or not you want to jump on board for next year's Mystery Blanket Adventure. We start signing up in August. We have, as always, a limited number of memberships. I'm going to write a lot more information in the written blog about what the 2025 Mystery Blanket is all about. I'll give you a few little tips and hints about where I'm going with or where I've gone with the design for next year. But if you do fancy it, we have a really fantastic early bird offer for everybody that signs up within the first month. I've teamed up with Rowan for this mystery blanket. All the yarn in the blanket will be Rowan yarn, and they have contributed some really great prizes to our early bird offer. So keep your eyes on your inbox. If you're interested in joining next year, I've got a really lovely theme, very different to this year's, going very calm, very soothing with the colour palette. It's been an absolute joy to work on. So I've got some really lovely squares in store for you next year. If you fancy it, keep an eye on your inbox. And then if you join up within the first month, you'll get lots of benefits, lots of advantages, and there'll be a great prize draw as well, where you could win a whole range of great prizes. Okay, so I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to leave you to get on with your mystery cushion blocks, and all being good, I will see you, not next month actually, but on the final instalment number 5, I will come back to see how you're getting on and to introduce the last part of this year's mystery cushion. Have fun, everybody. Keep those needles clicking away, and I'll see you in a couple of months' time. Bye-bye.